Most 11-year-old girls spend their days going to school and playing with their friends. But Mary Bell was no ordinary 11-year-old girl. She was a serial killer. Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are diving deep into the chilling story of Mary Bell. Prepare yourselves for a disturbing journey as we unmask the terrifying reality of what made this child commit heinous acts that would shock the world and forever stain her name. Mary Bell was born on May 26, 1957, in Newcastle. She grew up in a volatile and abusive home. Her mother, Betty Bell, was a well-known local prostitute who specialised in whippings and stranglings. Mary was her second child, born when Betty was 17 years old. Betty was addicted to alcohol and was often absent from the family home. The identity of Mary's biological father is unknown, but she believed her father to be William Billy Bell, a violent alcoholic and habitual criminal with an arrest record for crimes including armed robbery. Mary's childhood was also marked by physical and sexual abuse. She was subjected to repeated sexual abuse by her mother, who forced her to engage in sex acts with men from the age of 5. Mary herself claims to have been subject to repeated sexual abuse, and independent accounts from family members suggest that Betty had attempted to kill Mary and make her death look accidental more than once during the first few years of her life. As a result of her tumultuous upbringing, Mary developed a dark and disturbed personality. At an early age, she exhibited signs of aggression, cruelty, and a lack of empathy towards others. Unfortunately, these warning signs were overlooked and tragedy was soon to follow. The first victim of Mary Bell's wrath was 4-year-old Martin Brown. On May 25, 1968, Mary, along with a friend named Norma Joyce Bell, no relation, lured Martin into an abandoned house. There, they subjected him to unspeakable acts of violence, ultimately taking his life. Shockingly, Mary and Norma were able to convince the authorities that Martin's death was an accident. But this was just the beginning of their reign of terror. Only 2 months later, on July 31, 1968, Mary and Norma struck again. This time their target was 3-year-old Brian Howe. The two girls lured Brian to a secluded location, where they subjected him to horrific acts of violence, leaving his lifeless body hidden in a pile of rubble. The investigation into Brian's murder quickly led the police to Mary and Norma. Upon questioning, Mary showed a chilling lack of remorse and even led the police to the location where Brian's body was concealed. Mary Bell's trial was held at Newcastle Assizes in December 1968, when she was 11 years old. She was very confident and self-possessed during the trial, and both girls admitted breaking into the school and writing the notes found there. After 9 days of evidence, Norma, Mary's alleged accomplice in at least one of the killings, had appeared confused and overawed during the proceedings. She was acquitted of all charges. Mary Bell, at the age of 11, became one of the youngest individuals to stand trial for murder in the United Kingdom. Despite her age, the court found her guilty of manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility. She was sentenced to indefinite imprisonment and began her detention at the Red Bank Secure Unit in St Helens, Lancashire. Mary Bell's story has fascinated criminologists and psychologists for decades. It raises questions about the impact of nature versus nurture on a person's behaviour, as well as the capacity for evil within the human psyche. After serving a prison sentence of 12 years, Mary Bell was granted anonymity and protection by the British legal system. Bell was released from custody in 1980 at the age of 23. She eventually welcomed a daughter on May 25, 1984. However, her whereabouts were eventually uncovered, and she and her daughter had to flee their home. In a significant legal victory on May 21, 2003, Bell secured lifelong anonymity for herself and her daughter by a ruling of the High Court. In 2009, it was reported that Bell had become a grandmother. This marked another final chapter in her twisted, intriguing life. Mary's story continues to captivate and horrify people around the world. It is a story of tragedy and trauma, a life shaped by abuse and violence, raising questions about the justice system, the treatment of children in the criminal justice system, and the impact of childhood trauma on individuals and society as a whole. And with that, we conclude our dark journey into the life and crimes of Mary Bell, a name forever etched in the history of serial killers. Thank you for joining us today, and remember, sometimes the darkest truths can be found within the most innocent faces. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next video.